Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or wherever you are joining us from. How you are doing today? Today is a beautiful day. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful opportunity for so many of you to have a once in a lifetime, discussion on a very important topic that's going to change your life, hopefully come 2024. So we are live on JC Radio, and today we will be talking about D vitamin. D vitamin, very, very important. And joining me in the studio today is three wonderful, wonderful mothers from our communities who will be sharing their experiences with you, the audience, and hopefully you can pick something up from what they're sharing and change your life for the better. So there's a saying that health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm borrowing this line from my wonderful friend Nana TV and Uncle Ben, whom I love very much. Miss you both. So please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Share with your loved ones. Today is going to be a very, very important day that will change your life for the better. 2024 is a couple of days from now, and hopefully we have all started writing down our new year wishes and resolutions, and health would hopefully also be on the top of your agenda. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have wonderful ladies here with me. They will introduce themselves shortly. But today we have a 1.5 hour, 90 minutes of very interactive discussion, like I said, on a very important vitamin, an essential vitamin called vitamin D. Many of you might already have so much information about this, but please, not everybody is aware. So do not think that because you know everybody knows it. Share as you join. And please do not hesitate to tell us right on the chart where you are joining us from. We would be really happy to know that. So, here, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Emma Tamanka. Many people call me Mama Ems. Any other one is a photocopy. This is the original, Mama Ems, and I'm a senior lecturer in the Department of Nursing at Laria University of Applied Sciences. I'm also a community leader. I chair one of the largest network of multicultural associations here in Finland, Moni Heli ry, but also the co-founder and chairperson of HEAT Finland. So today we will be talking again about, like I said in the beginning, on a very, very important topic, that is D vitamins. So I have my ladies here who will be introducing themselves shortly. Tell us who they are, and also how important it is for them to be part of this discussion today. So D vitamins, whoo, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Our goal is that, or the program for this evening is that I'll have a very short presentation on what D vitamin is, the sources of D vitamins, and why it is important to either consume D vitamins from food, but also the fact that supplements would be necessary as well. And then we will hear some testimonies from these wonderful ladies. So please, I want each and every one of you to have an open mind as you listen to us. I know there are so many people when they join a discussion like this, they come with all kinds of questions, but please be civil with your questions. I would check the chat window every now and then, and I would try to read your questions. We try to provide answers to your questions, and hopefully by the end of the show, if we have time, then I would really love to take some calls as well directly. But do not hesitate to drop your questions and comments on the chat window, please. So I have here with me Clarice. Please, Clarice, can you introduce yourself? Can you hear me? I'm not sure if everybody can hear me. Please, can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'll be going to Clarice. Please let me introduce the wonderful women who are with me in the studio today. I would want them to introduce themselves so we can dive into the discussion proper. Please, Clarice. Okay, I'm not sure she can hear me. So I'm going to start the presentation, and then hopefully we might have some technical issues here, probably on her side. But let's hope that we will get that sorted out as soon as possible. We have one of the mothers who will join us a bit later on. So we will also, or I will introduce her once she gets into the studio. Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, once again, you're warmly welcome to this wonderful, I say exclusive discussion on an essential vitamin, vitamin D, something that we don't talk very much about, but also the fact that we come from a continent, those of you who are in Europe or the United States or in countries where there's little sunshine, we all come from a continent where there's plenty of sunshine, and we never talked about D vitamins, but now we have to talk about it. It's our business, because so many things can really go wrong in your body. It sets off your whole system when you are, lacking, or when you lack this very important vitamin. So what is D vitamins? Today I will be focusing on vitamin D3. I know there are different forms of vitamins. You have vitamin D2, vitamin D3, but the focus of this discussion today is on vitamin D3, which is what you get from the sun. So let's stick to that, please. So if you're asking any questions, no, I'm not going to be talking about vitamin D2. One of the important things that I want us to also remember as we listen to this discussion is that very often when you have the medical doctors talk about topics like this, they use terminologies that the common man doesn't understand. That's not the goal for this discussion today. I really want us all, or at least I'm going to try, and also the mothers, we will try to break down the knowledge, and also use words that are easier for everybody to understand, because we are as learners, as listeners, we are very diverse, and not everybody is in the health field. So I will try my best to really break it down to the level that everybody can understand. So D vitamin, like I said in the beginning, is a very essential vitamin. We get it from food, but also 90% of it comes from the sun. So only 10% we get from the food. And now the problem that we have is that we live in a country, those who are in the diaspora, whether you are in Europe, whether you are in North America, we know that there is really little sunshine. Not only that, but there are numerous studies conducted that have proven the fact that people do not normally or usually go outside. They spend most of their time inside. And considering the fact that D vitamin, or D3, 90% comes from the sun, then you can understand why it is becoming almost like a pandemic, that so many people do not have sufficient D vitamins. We need D vitamins for proper absorption of calcium and phosphorus. You will not be able to have strong bones without calcium, and we know that growing up our parents used to tell us you need to eat, consume enough calcium, but without D vitamins the calcium is almost useless. So it is why is this vitamin so important? There are a couple of things I really want us to remember here. The first one is that D vitamin is almost considered a hormone. It is so important for the production of very important hormones in our body. And I'll give you a typical example of a hormone that I think that is important for especially ladies. When you think of ladies who are approaching menopause, is estrogen. D vitamin is so important in the production of estrogen. So you probably are asking yourself, why is it that back in Africa, for instance, or maybe in Asia, we do not hear our mothers talking about all of these hot flashes, all of these problems that comes with menopause, mood swings, and all of that. As I started reading and studying more on D vitamins, I realized that yes, they did not have all these problems because there was plenty of sunshine. So without sufficient levels of D vitamin, there will be no estrogen production, and the consequences are the fact that you will now have difficulties with probably your sleep, your mood. There's problems with cognition and all of these things. So very, very important. So like I said, it's not only estrogen, there are also other hormones that you need D vitamins for the production of those hormones. Then the second one is maintenance of healthy bones. Yes, we want to make sure that our bones are as healthy as possible, they are as strong as possible. But unfortunately, without sufficient levels of D vitamins, only 10 to 15% of the calcium that we consume is actually being absorbed by the bone. So you can probably eat as much calcium as you want, but you definitely need sufficient levels of D vitamins to be able to utilize the calcium that you're consuming. Now let's look at our body's immune system. I call them, the soldiers that important for us as well to when we had the COVID. I use this as an example all the time when I'm talking about this. During the COVID pandemic, we most of you would remember that when you were diagnosed with of having COVID-19 or with COVID-19, what they did is that they pretty much increased your levels of D vitamins. Why did they do that? Can you think why they did that? Yes, the simple reason is because they wanted to boost your immunity, your immune system. Because yes, vitamin D is very important in building our defense mechanism, or our defense. I call them the armies. The armies that would be there, waiting for any invader in the name of viruses to come in, and then they would attack them and kill them. So if you do not have sufficient levels of D vitamins, you are exposed. So you will have all of this constant flu. You pick up anything that the children will bring from the kindergarten, that will affect you. But with sufficient levels of D vitamin, yes, you are sure that your immune system is somehow stronger or strong. Then also the chronic diseases that we can think about, whether we're talking about diabetes, cancer, hypertension, all of those have also been linked. Numerous studies have also come up with a correlation between lack of D vitamins or low levels of D vitamins and these different chronic diseases. So with sufficient D vitamins, you are also going to an extent, be preventing some of these diseases. What about pregnant mothers? D vitamins is also very important for the fetus, but also for the mother. Yes, we also know that there are studies conducted, and I think the latest study conducted that concerns or that is related to children, pregnant mothers, and D vitamin is a study done in 2022 at the Helsinki University, where they came up the findings was that there is a correlation between lack of D vitamin during pregnancy, so the mother lacking D vitamin, and also the child's risk of developing autism. And I think there are many of us who know somebody, or we have an autistic child, or we know many people with autistic children. So please, this is also something that there has been, talked about a lot recently, because the number of autistic kids in our communities is rising rapidly. And I think that with such a study, or with such a correlation, is very important for us to start thinking about D vitamins. Now, do we get sufficient D vitamins? I don't think we do. Why? I don't think we do. It really depends. The darker your skin, because like I said in the beginning, 90% of it comes from the sun. 90% comes from the sun. So the darker your skin color, the more sun you would need for absorption. It's as simple as that. The darker your skin color, the more sun you will need. So if you are a Caucasian and you're having a darker skin person, two of you cannot think that you will have the same absorption. The pigmentation, the melanin in the skin, you require, I don't say this is an exaggeration, but you require 8-9 times the amount of sun as a darker skinned person compared to a Caucasian. So that's something that we really need to consider. And there are also numerous studies out there, not only in Finland, but also in the United States and other parts of the world, where they have really come up with, very, very, I would say, I'm talking about huge studies, that have come up with results and have proven that many people do lack D vitamins. So they have low levels of D vitamins. That's very important to consider. What are some of the signs? Many of us have maybe had some symptoms, but we blame those symptoms on different kinds of things. But I want you to look out for these symptoms. The first one is probably general body pain, especially back pain. That might be an indication. Bone loss, that's another thing, because of course without sufficient D vitamins there's no absorption of calcium. You have fatigue, you're always tired, mood swings, you're happy 1 minute, the next minute you're sad, so you're just kind of going up and down. Then we have also muscle weakness, and especially cramps as well, muscle cramps all the time, and then hair loss. And for children, something that we probably all remember is ricket in children. We always say that kids with curved legs, that's a sign of insufficient D vitamins. Now, what are some of the food sources? Like I said, that with D vitamin, you can get 10% from the food that we eat. We have many things like milk, yogurt, and some cheese. They've been fortified with D vitamins, but unfortunately, the levels are usually very low. But if you think about some of the sources of D vitamins, you would think I would immediately ask us if we do consume, any fatty fish. For instance, salmon. For instance, mackerel, cod liver or cod. So cod liver oil, very important. Those are all some of the sources of D vitamin. Eggs, mushrooms. So you can pretty much have some D vitamins from all of these things. But again, it is not sufficient to give you the accurate or the levels that you need to prevent you from all the different things that I talked about in the beginning. So, which means that we would definitely need supplement at some point. I'm a proponent of D vitamin testing. You have to test you have to go to the doctor, get a test, and know your levels. I am an advocate for that. I started testing my D vitamin levels since 2016, and almost or every other year at least, but every year since 2020, I have been testing my D vitamins. It is very, very important. So I would encourage each and every one of you, before you even start or we start talking about the supplements, you should think about going to the doctor and asking for a D vitamin test, so you would know what your levels are. You would discuss, because we are all individuals. You discuss with your doctor, and the doctor will make an individualized plan for you, whether you are supposed to take higher doses to meet up if you're having low levels, or then you just need maintenance dose. So that is very important. But let me give you some of the recommendations that we have here in Finland. There's some noise in the background. There's some noise in the background. That's really... Nope.
Yeah, it's from your phone.
There's some weird noise in the background.
Okay, you keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I guess the noise. Please, if you can just mute yourself, I'll be very grateful. Thank you very much. I can see some of you are probably watching from maybe work. You're at work at the moment.
Yeah,
There's
it's from them.
there's plenty of noise in the background, so please, if you can mute yourself, thank you so much. Yes, so what I was saying is that I'm a proponent of testing your D vitamins. Please, you have to do that. You have to do that to know your starting levels. You have to do that. But let me walk you through, before I go to the ladies, let me walk you through the recommendations, because I know that they are different depending on the country where you are, and depending on what kinds of studies have been conducted in these different countries. They have different levels, okay? They have different recommendations. But I want to talk about the Finnish recommendation here in a bit, because we are in Finland. So the recommended dose, and now I'm talking about D vitamin supplement. And before I actually dive into D vitamin supplement, please remember that there is vitamin D2 and there is vitamin D3. What I'm interested in, I'm not going to start telling you about the names, just vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. When you go to buy a supplement from the shop, please, you want to make sure that it is written there vitamin D3, because that's the one that you get from the sun. Vitamin D2 comes from plant, okay? But you have to also to be very careful, because when you consume vitamin D2, especially in large amounts, it gets stored in the tissues. So please, vitamin D3 is what you should be looking for. So that is something that I really want to emphasize. Now, the recommended dose in Finland, and I'm going to be focusing on darker skinned people. So 1 to 11 years, you can take up to 50 micrograms a day. That's a safe level. And adults, you can take up to 100 micrograms a day. 100 micrograms a day. So where can you get this? You can get it from the pharmacy. You can get it from a supermarket. Now, please, before you do that, I know some of you take higher doses. I do myself. I take 250 micrograms. It's a safe level as well from the studies that have been conducted, like for instance in the United States. But nobody should go to higher doses without the doctor. You need to go and take a D vitamin test so you know your starting level. I really want to emphasize that, so nobody says, Emma said that I need to do this. Please take a D vitamin test. Go to your doctor and get a D vitamin test. Get yourself tested, because you all have individual situations. We are individuals. We have different hormonal levels. We have different diseases. We have, our age is different and all of those things. So it is very, very important that you talk to your doctor so you can have an individualized plan for you that will be suitable. So now let me start to introduce. I'll come back to this discussion, and please, if there are any questions, any questions, I would like to answer them. Let me check if there are any questions and who are online. Yes, I can see Christiana. Ajube said, wonderful. Thank you so much, my dear sister. Archie Levinda, you're welcome to the show. Samuel Anini, yes, we can. Thank you so much. Linda Johnson, giving a thumbs up. Thank you, sister. Ara Leilane says, wow, thank you. That's wonderful, sister. Thank you so much. Glory Ako, very correct. Thank you. Dr. Elizabeth Etaf says, very important topic. Thank you very much. And then Richard Hayes is asking, what's the normal level? Thank you so much for that wonderful question. What's the normal level? The normal levels would really depend. In Finland, for instance, what they usually say is that in Finland we talk about a nanomole, while in the United States they talk about nanogram. So I want to make that very clear. Now, the normal levels in Finland, below 50 is low. Below 50 is low. And from 50 up to 100, so 70 to 120 nanomole is considered in Finland the level that you can be protected from so many things. And it shouldn't go over 375 nanomole. So when it goes over 375 nanomole, then we will be talking about a state of toxicity, But to get there is very, very rare. You would need, there are studies that have been conducted that you need close to 60,000 of microgram for you to be able to reach the level of toxicity. So very important. Thank you for that question. So anything below 50, please, those of you in the United States and in other countries where you use different convention rates, please, you can do that for me. So we do use nanomole here in Finland. Yes. Joyce, Ankoma, thank you very much, sister, for joining. Glory says, I'm short of D vitamin, but it's better to get the vitamin D3. Yes, you should get vitamin D3, not vitamin D2. Actually, in many countries, vitamin D2 is prescribed, but vitamin D3 is over-the-counter drug or medication or supplement, right? You should be getting vitamin D3. That is what you need from the sun, and that's exactly what we are deprived of because we are in a country where there is not so much sunshine. So let me go now to these wonderful ladies. I want to start with you, Clarice. Please, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are, how important it is for you to be part of this discussion today.
Hello, thank you for having me on this wonderful show. I'm very grateful to be here today to be part of your mission to create awareness about vitamin D. So, my name is Clarice, and I'm a registered nurse. I have been working for about 6 to 7 years as a registered nurse in internal medicine ward. And I would say it is very important for me to take vitamin D and for my family to have vitamin D as a supplement. And I'm going to explain further later as we go into the show. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Clarice. Mani Clarice. Yeah, so let's go to Georgina. Georgina is on as well. Georgina, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm called Georgiana Fosang, and I'm a district court juror at the Vanta District Court. I'm also a practical nurse and as well a registered nursing student at the Laurea University of Applied Sciences. Actually, this program is very important for me because I believe I'm one of those who thought they know a lot, but actually they didn't know anything about the vitamin D. Thank you. I will be coming with more later.
Thank you very much, my dear Georgiana. Yes, so we're having one other sister, Solange, who will be joining us in a bit, So yes, and thank you both ladies. I'm so super excited that you accepted to be part of this exclusive discussion.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you 5 on 5. We can hear you 5 on 5.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, you probably maybe should mute one of your gadgets. Okay, wonderful. So we're back on. Yes, thank you both ladies. Like I said, one of us. Should mute one of your gadgets. Okay, wonderful. So we're back on. Yes, okay. Thank you both ladies. Like I said, one of. Yeah, so Solange will be joining us later, and when she gets into the studio, we will let her introduce herself. Yes, Georgiana, we can hear you 5 on 5. We can hear you 5 on 5. So let me start with Clarice. You said that you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you fine. We can hear you very well. 5 on 5. We can hear you very well. So let me go to Mani. Let me start with Mani because I know that you've been a nurse for so many years, and you've probably seen all kinds of patients or patients with different levels of D vitamins and all of that. But even before I go there, what is your own story when it comes to D vitamin? When did you start taking D vitamins regularly and why?
Actually, I started increasing my vitamin dose because of a work accident that I had. This is about 3 years ago, and because of that reason, I had to broaden my knowledge on supplements as a general. But with D vitamins, I had to go up with my dose because I was suffering from inflammation. And with all the studies I read, with all the research papers that are out there, I got to realize that the 20 micrograms that I was taking before wasn't enough. So I stepped up my dose to 50. Then I read another research and I also listened to some of the doctors that are on YouTube that I follow, which I'm not going to mention here. They were recommending more than 50 micrograms. So I stepped it up to 150, then to 200. And after that, I started noticing a lot of changes. Together with the other supplements I was taking, I started noticing a lot of changes when it comes to my bone health, my knees, my general body wellness, my mood of sleep. I started sleeping better. So since then, it's been like, let me say 3 years, I've been on 200 micrograms. And um, 3 years ago, I went to the doctor. You can take this from me. You can actually call your healthcare center and request for this test. It's free. So I called and I requested for a D vitamin lab test for myself. My levels were then just about 60 something, but it has increased. I'm going to talk about that later. Yeah, so it's because of my health situation that made me get into more of the dose in vitamin D.
Yes. Uh, thank you so much. That's wonderful to hear, my dear Clarice. You're absolutely right, and this is the thing that we've been telling people that, or like I said, that I'm a proponent of testing your D vitamins. It's a simple blood test. Usually, I don't know about other countries, but at least here in Finland, we usually they do what we call the 25 hydroxy vitamin D test, which is the active form of D vitamins, and they do that because it's abundant in the blood, and basically you will get the results, and based on the levels that you would have, the doctor will then decide what the dose is. It like a maintenance dose, or then do they need to give you like a higher dose in the beginning, to be able to take you up to the level that you can actually start maintaining your levels. So that is very, very important. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, Georgiana. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about your vitamin D levels, the journey. Not the levels yet, but the journey. Georgiana, can you hear us?
Hello.
Yes, Georgiana.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Levels, the journey. So can you hear me? I'm
Yes,
just
we
worried.
can hear you.
Yeah, but can you hear me? I'm just worried about the sound. Can you hear me?
We can hear you well. We can hear you well.
Georgiana, can you hear us? Yes, I can hear you. Yes, Georgiana, can you hear me, please? Okay, so for me, I think I should be very frank that even though I've been aware about vitamin D, I've really not taken. I'm one of those who've not taken it seriously. So it happened on one of the vitamin D awareness programs that um, Mrs. Emma Tamakak portrayed to us in one of our meetings, Association of Grasslanders in Finland. So we were privileged to have that expose, and I felt like, hey, you actually are missing out and there was something you're not doing. So I really felt guilty, and I started taking my vitamin D, and I also gave to my kids and also to my husband. My husband, for instance, has never taken vitamin D. I'm very frank to say it. He has never taken it. And I used to take, I could take today and take tomorrow, take today, tomorrow I don't take. So I was not regular with it. But then after that expose, I really felt like, okay, I need to try it. And I started the next day after buying the vitamin D for the whole family. So I served everyone. I gave the kids, and I took some for myself and also shared some to my husband. And guess what? 2 to 3 weeks after that, I started realizing some changes. You can see I am actually not wearing makeup, and I've decided I rarely wear makeups because I have this confidence now. I feel so confident with myself. There is this blush, there is this glow that my face has developed. I'm very serious about this. I have not added anything to my facial routine except vitamin D that I now take regularly. So I just noticed that I feel kind of oily. You can see my face. It's zero makeup, as in zero makeup. I go to school, I go to several places without makeup. And the other thing that has added into my activities or my daily stuff is the vitamin D, which I take regularly. So I really feel like, okay, now this is a big change and I must stick to it. So that's my story about vitamin D. And now it's my do or die. I don't joke with it. And I serve it to my kids and to my husband as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Georgiana. I love the word do or die because it's actually a do or die thing. D vitamins is so important that, to be honest with you, there are so many things that can go wrong. There's so many things that are going wrong in our body, in our health, that we have not yet come to the realization that we are no longer in Africa where there's plenty of sunshine. We are no longer in Asia where there's plenty of sunshine. So the irony or the paradox here is we leave our home countries, we come to the West, in search of better life, but we give our health in return. What we do is we take back ill health is what we gain. You understand what I mean? So we get the money, we work, we can help people back home, but what we get in return is really poor health. So it is time for each and every one of us to start taking care of these very important things. I know many of us do not like supplements, that's a fact. Many of us are not used to it, but we also need to come to a realization that we are just going to need supplements at some point, and D vitamin supplement is one of those that is a must because 90% of it comes from the sun. You cannot have sufficient D vitamins by just eating all the foods that we talked about, but getting your levels checked is very important. Yes. So let me go back. Solange is not here with us. Solange is not here with us. So let me ask you. Let me start with you again, Clarice. How regular do you take your D vitamins? Do you take it every day?
Let me be honest. I take it at least 6 times a week.
A week. Yes. What are the levels? What are your levels? Or
I
the
take
dose? Sorry, the dose.
I take 200 micrograms,
Okay.
and I give my
200
kids 50 daily. Yeah,
Okay, 50 micrograms daily. Wonderful. How many kids do you have?
I have to.
Okay, what are their ages?
They are 14 now.
Okay, 14. So they take 50 microgram.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Do you also think that do you also think that some of the D vitamin rich or rich foods that I mentioned, do you think that in the African cuisine is something that we are able to get?
No, sincerely, we do not eat enough of those D vitamin rich food, like salmon. Who amongst us here can boast of eating salmon fish twice a week or even 4 times a week? And there's something about that, eating is one thing, absorbing is another.
It's another.
You might be eating without actually absorbing the nutrients
Absolutely.
from the fish. And not all of us in our community as Africans even know the types of food that are rich in vitamin D. So we are just eating. We also need another form of awareness when it comes to this. Like, what can we eat in order to be able to get those vitamins, like D vitamins, for example?
Yeah. You said you got your vitamin D levels tested. Did you ever get it the kids tested as well?
No, I did not get the kids tested because, from birth, it's recommended that we start giving the kids.
Yeah.
So I had to just continue with that recommendation because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they need it. But me, coming from Africa, we came into Finland with those natural vitamin D levels in our bloodstream. But over time, they
Phased
reduced.
out.
And in the beginning, I knew of just 10 micrograms. But as time goes on, as we age, our body begins to need extra. So I had to go for extra.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. As we age, that's a fact. We're losing bone density.
Mm.
Naturally, it's part of the physiology of physiological changes that occur when we age. But I want to touch a little bit before I go to Georgiana, a little bit on what you mentioned with the kids. Again, this is one of the things that I like to really encourage parents to do, to make sure that their kids are taking D vitamins on a daily basis and sufficient dose, which means that you can talk as well with your doctor and make sure that the kids are getting enough, because for us who came here as adults, whether you're in Europe or in the United States or in Canada, we came, we basically were adults, so we had plenty of sunshine, like you said, that could protect us for a while. But then the kids who are born here, the second generation, and in some places, third or even fourth generation, they were born in a country where they don't get sufficient sunshine.
Mm.
There's no they don't get sufficient sun, like in Finland, for instance. So if we do not take care of this generation, then they're gonna have even more problems than we do. So that's something I want parents to be conscious of. So please, it's not just you, which is why I'm very happy when Georgiana said I bought for my kids. I made sure everybody takes it. It's very important that we are looking at the entire family and not just me as an individual. So thank you,
Can I
Georgiana.
please add something to that again on
Yes,
my
yes,
end?
my dear. Yes,
You know,
dear.
as we have our children here, they begin their education here. Some of us parents are still not aware of the fact that vitamin D plays a very important role in their learning.
Yes.
Yeah, especially when it comes to memory, it helps them a lot. Especially when it comes to their mood as they are getting to their teenage age, as they get bigger and bigger, they need more as well. Then when it comes to their activity level, you can actually see that some kids can be very hyper, not because they were born like that, but because they are lacking some vital minerals and supplements in their system. And vitamin D could be one of them, but we don't know about that. So that's something we should consider when it comes to the well-being of our children, their
Yes.
learning process, and their memory.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. So as well, my dear, how many kids do you have and their ages? Is Georgiana with us? Georgiana, are you with us?
Hello, can you hear me
Yes.
again? Sorry.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me again? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so I have three kids. I have my first daughter is 8 years old. My second child is 7 years old, and my last child is 2 years old.
What's the dose of D vitamins do you give them at the moment? You're muted.
Actually, I used to give them 20 micrograms from
Yeah.
birth, but then I had to change after the vitamin D expose we had with you during the Astrograph meeting. I had to change. I used to give them 20 micrograms each because we have this candy that I always buy from the apteki from the
Yeah.
pharmacy, and it's 10 micrograms. So I had to switch from 10 to 50. Now I give the 7 and 8 year old 50, and I give the 2 year old 20.
Okay.
And myself, I take 150. I used to just take 20 micrograms, but I kind of realized that, okay, I needed to switch up, and I popped up to 150.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think I feel there is a change. There is actually a change. I feel it.
Yes, thank you. I do feel there's a change as well, and let me just walk you through before I go to the comment section. Let me just walk you through my own personal experience when it comes to D vitamins. I remember before 2016, I had all of this. I had severe back pain. You know, I had severe back pain, and I remember once I was in Yorvi Hospital for 10 days, and they did all kinds of tests, you know, to try to figure out what was actually causing such pain, and nothing was diagnosed. You know, they could not really lay their finger on anything, any reason why I'm having that back pain. So I went to a physiotherapy. So when I went to this physiotherapist, I remember we were talking about D vitamins. She says she's a fiend, and I asked her, what dose of D vitamins do you take? She said, I take 150 microgram. That was the first shock, because then with my limited knowledge, I have to say that in nursing education, I don't think that there's a lot that is talked about D vitamin, considering the different skin types, you know, or the ethnic groups. So I was really shocked when I heard that she takes 150 microgram. I was like, "For aren't you gonna kill yourself?" And she's like, "No, that's really normal dose." But anyway, fast forward, I went to see a doctor for another test, and the doctor asked me, because he also was quite frustrated and did not know why I keep having all of these pains. He asked me, "Have you ever, or have they ever done a D vitamin test on you?" I said, "No, they've never done that." He said, "Okay." He said, "Okay, I'm gonna make a referral, so go to the lab for a lab test." And so I went there, and the levels were really low. So my levels were 63 nanomole, and then he advised me to take to start taking 50 microgram, which I did for 2 years, and then I went back. That was in 2016. I went back in 2018. I took another test, and it had gone up just by one. So it was from 63 nanomole, it went to 64 nanomole. And I was like, in 2 years, it's still this low. So I started reading more about it. I decided to go deeper into research done, or, you know, different research is done in Finland, out of Finland, especially in the United States, where we've had generations upon generations of people with colored skin or dark skinned people. So I decided to focus more on what, you know, what kinds of recommendations were coming from that end. So I started taking 150 microgram, and I would go between 150 microgram and 200. And after 2 years, I went back for a test, and my results were 100. So it had moved from gone up from 64 nanomole to 123 nanomole, if my memory serves me right. And I have to be honest with you that I could already feel the change during those 2 years, that there was never a day that I complained of back pain. Everything just disappeared. And ever since, I've been testing my D vitamins every year, just to make sure that I stay within the limit, and it has never gone over 124. So the last time I checked, which was this autumn, it was 124 nanomole. So why am I saying this? Yes, we really have to get ourselves tested. This is what I keep saying. We really have to get ourselves tested. Now I can compare where I was in 2016 and the impact of the supplements that I've been taking, and also not just the fact that the numbers have gone up, but also how I feel. I really want to emphasize, especially the women who are 40 and above. You are approaching menopause slowly but surely. So remember this. If there's one thing you're going to take home from this discussion as a woman, and I encourage you to read more, and of course even men, progesterone, even men. Yes, without sufficient D vitamin levels, there will be no production of that either. So I want women to consider very strongly, if you're over 40 years, go check your D vitamin levels. You might just be approaching menopause and your husband is wondering, why are you always upset? Why are you having issues with your cognition? Why are you having problems with your skin and all of these things? So yes, when you take your D vitamin levels, it will help you to understand where you are and where you're going. Yeah, so thank you very much. So let me take some comments here. We have we have a question from yes, woman of God, thanks for sharing this knowledge, very helpful. Thank you, woman of God, Immaculate. Dr. Bilola says, what is the required daily amount for children? Does the amount vary with age? Yes, it does vary with age. It does vary with age. I'm still going to go with the Finnish recommendation, which says that, and these are now we're talking about like the safe. I don't want to go with any other values, but what the Finnish recommendation says that these are safe levels. From 1 to 11 years, you can give up to a 50 microgram, and I think an adults up to 100 microgram a day. So I'm considering the fact that after 11 years, you can give up to 100 microgram. So that's what I would say, and that's how I interpret that. So the older the kids get, then the more D vitamins you would give them. My daughter, for instance, takes 100 microgram at the moment. She's 12 years old. Yes, Bernard says, thank you for sharing this knowledge. It's indeed helpful. Thank you, brother. Joyce again says, please, we adults, how many milligram of the D vitamin is okay? We will not be talking about milligram. We're talking about microgram. Actually, microgram is very small. So we are not talking about milligram, but you have to check with your doctor, because yes, we do have people with dangerously low levels of D vitamin that they might even need to have maybe a D vitamin drip, IV drips, for instance. So you should go to your doctor. But we're talking about micrograms here, not milligram. But trust me, there are people who are taking microgram at the moment because of their low levels of D vitamin, but that is done as per doctor's instructions. Yes, thank you, my sister Okwen Rachel, for joining. LeBlanc, thank you for joining. Aline, thank you for joining. And Nana Ama says, God bless you all. I appreciate this because I don't take vitamin D3 regularly and I'm learning more from this. Yes, sister, you better take it every single day. Trust me. Take it as if your life depends on it. Because it does. And then Richard says, is there any side effect when taking this supplement? That's a wonderful question. This is what I'm going to say. One of the issues that people are concerned with, because D vitamin, just like the other fat-soluble vitamins, let me put it this way, D vitamin is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means that you have to be careful with toxicity as well. Gets stored in the liver. Have to be careful with that. But for you to reach that level of toxicity, I think I mentioned that already, you will be talking about, there are recent studies that I read, 40 to 60,000 of microgram for you to be talking about toxicity. So when it comes to side effects, there are not, well, everything that you take probably has some level of side effect, but as long as you do not go over the amount that you're supposed to, D vitamins are naturally a safe supplement for people to take. You shouldn't have that. But you should not. Yes, I know somebody is worried about taking too much. No, you should not take more than the recommendation or the recommended dose, which is the reason why we keep saying that go back to your doctors, go and ask. Clarice already mentioned that it's a free test. Go to your doctor and ask for a D vitamin test, please, before you start taking the supplement. Even though it's over the counter, but it's important for you to know where you are. It's important for you to know your levels. Very, very important. Yes, we have a link here. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Our brother Samson has posted the study. Yes, very, very important study that was conducted at the Children's Hospital, University Hospital in Helsinki, that has linked or that there's a correlation between low levels of D vitamin during pregnancy and autism. So that's something I really want each and every one of you to click that study and read. It's very important. Yes, Ngam Queen Aline, thank you so much, sister, for joining. LeBlanc, thank you, Hasi. I have already scheduled an appointment to get it checked. Please do, and I really want each and every one of you to not just say that, okay, I'm gonna get this knowledge, I'm benefiting from it. Please don't keep it to yourself. Help a brother, help a sister, to help another sister, because this is a general problem. This is a global problem. Well, I wouldn't say global in the sense. Let me say those of us in the West. This is our problem. It's real. So let's take it seriously as well. Yes, Nancy, thank you very much for joining. Dr. Aita says knowledge is power. After my last test in 2019, I was prescribed 100 microgram, but I take 200 microgram daily because I think I need more. I have to check my levels again. Good job. And I remember you were part of that discussion that I had in 2019 on D vitamin. So very, very good. I'm so happy that you dropped your comments and you actually got it tested. So thank you so much. Oh my God, here Uncle Ben is in. Miss you, brother. Yes, I already mentioned you in the beginning. I borrowed your slogan, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. So I hope you're doing good. Wonderful to have you. Yes, and then Simon von Cham, thank you, brother, for joining. 90% of vitamin D comes from the sun. How long can someone be exposed to the sun, and what is the temperature range? Remember, too much sun. Yes, I'm so glad you're talking about that. And here is a caveat. Yes, here is the problem. We do not even have the 90%. Oh, sorry, we do not have it because we don't have the sufficient sun. So we shouldn't even, bother about that. That's why we need the supplements, because we don't, especially us darker skinned people, we are not able to absorb enough sunlight that will give us the levels that we need. I know there are some people who use sunscreen. Yes, sunscreen actually protects absorption of the sun. That's something that is a fact. But then that's something that most Caucasians do. I don't think darker skinned people do really use sunscreen that much. But remember that if you are in the sun and you are, using sunscreen, it definitely does prevent absorption of the penetration of the sun. I also understand that using sunscreen is important because of the UVB, or UV light and all of that, skin cancer and all these things. So yes, we are all aware of that. So, but again, we don't have enough sun. That's the problem here. If we had enough sun, then we would be talking about how much can we be under the sun. We don't even have it. Merry Christmas from Finland, brother. Glory says, please can all share this page as much. Yes, please share it. Like wildfire. Do that, sister. Okay, let me come. I don't know if Solange has joined us. So let me go back to these wonderful ladies who are with us here today. Now, let me ask you, Mani. I know that there's been a discussion on taking vitamin D and K. So let me put it this way. We talk about calcium. We already understand the relationship between calcium and vitamin D3, the fact that you need enough vitamin D or sufficient levels of vitamin D to be able to have the calcium that you eat absorbed by your bones, right? Then there's another vitamin which is very important for us as well, and I think that I would want us to touch a bit on that, and that would be vitamin K2. I know that many people are ignorant about it. Personally, I take K2 all the time. But I would want you, Mani, what can you say about K2? I know you take it. What can you say about that?
K2, I would say, must be taken with vitamin D3, because it is K2 that we say transfers vitamin D3 into the bones. So you might be taking um, vitamin D3, you might be taking calcium, but they will not be transferred into the bone. So we need K2. That's why even in my supplements, I have K2 and D3 combined.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank that is very important. I just wanted us. I know that it becomes too cumbersome to put many things at the same time, but I just want to remind our people, because very often we talk about calcification, and again, I don't want to use terms that people do not understand. One of the things that like Clarice rightly said, for us to get the calcium, because many people consume calcium. Yes, you take D vitamin, but to prevent it from building up in the walls of the arteries, taking it from directly to where it's supposed to be. I think it would be very important to consider K2 as well. It's either K1 or K2 in my understanding. But you also have many of the D vitamin supplements where it's a combination already. So you're having one tablet, one capsule, but it has D3 and K2, right? D3 and K2. So if you have something like that, please go for it. It's very important, especially as you age. Especially as you age. Very important. Georgiana, are you there? I don't know if Georgiana, are you there? I wanted to ask you. You said that the whole family is now.
I'm here.
Yes, you said the whole family is now taking D vitamins.
The whole family is now. I'm here. Yes, you said the whole.
Yeah, you said the whole family is now taking D vitamins, which I'm super happy about. Has there been any other family member with better symptoms, or are you the only one that has?
Please.
Are there other family members who have also, maybe reported benefits from the D vitamin supplements that they've been taking?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. To be frank, I think my husband too has made mention, that he kind of feels better. He he's a bus driver, and
Yes.
the position he takes while driving kind of affects. So he's fond of complaining, that his back, his upper back hurts. But
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I started hearing things like, I feel like that backache I used to feel is gone, And we sat one day in the evening and I was like, oh, you mentioned something. What was that? He said he doesn't know, but there is this backache he usually feels, which is gone. So I was like, so what caused that? What has been new? He
Yeah.
actually said, I think that the only thing I've been taking now is vitamin D. I'm like, yes, that's the only thing because I've been serving you with it. So if he too was like, maybe this vitamin D of a thing that people are always talking about is really important. So not only the back pain, the regular back pain due to the driving position has gone away. Also, my face feels fine. I developed that comfort. And I think my kids too. I feel this glow on my kids' faces because I usually give them, yes, but I give very little, 10 micrograms. So that was actually very little. Now I popped it up to 50 and popped mine up to 150. So the whole family, plus my elder sister who is here, experiencing the same thing. So we all are grateful for that, and no one is joking with it. The kids will run to me, mommy, vitamin D, and at times if I even forget, even my husband is telling me, where is the vitamin D again?
Yeah.
So, so it's been a very big plus. Vitamin D, it's a big plus for us nowadays at home.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, sister. Thank you for sharing. I think they say health is wealth. Your greatest wealth is actually your health. That's just the fact. I mean, it's just what it is. So yes, I think when you start feeling better, when you don't have all the aches and you're having a clear mind, you're having your skin is glowing, mood swings are all gone. You know what I mean? Your hair is intact. You have this. You can sleep better. You feel generally better. I think that's a feeling that no amount of money can really buy. So I think it's very important, and plus the fact that it's investing in your health. It's investing in your health, and I encourage each and every one of us as we move into 2024, that this is going to be top on our list. Even if you don't like supplements, remember that the challenge or the problem with this specific one, D vitamin, is the fact that we don't get it from the sun. And again, D3, very important. So our brother says, very Glory Akko, very correct. Uncle Sam, we are doing great. Good to hear that. And then Elohor, thank you so much. I hope Ma Solange comes up next, and we're hoping that she's gonna join us. I'm not sure what's going on. And then Longfag Fonto, watching from Vantaa, Helsinki, Finland. Wonderful. Samuel Samson, thank you so much for sharing your rich insight with us. Thank you, brother, and thank you for sharing the link with us as well. We really appreciate that. Nana Osei, very educative. Thank you, brother, for being here. We really appreciate each and every one of you, and please share the link, so even those who are not with us at the moment, they can still have an opportunity to benefit from the discussion that we have had. So now let me go back to these two wonderful ladies. Solange is not with us. Hopefully she can join before, because we're kind of the time seemed to be flying. Yes, Mani Clarice, I would like to, if there is something that you would want to tell the audience, those who are watching at the moment, and also those who are going to watch later on, right? When it comes to vitamin D and their health in general, what is the thing that you want them to take home?
All right, thank you again. Let me come from this point. When I started my nursing career, I saw a lot of patients that were consuming or that were on calcium supplements. By then, I was doing home care. So in each client's home that I visited, I'll find calcium of about 1,000 milligrams. So I believe in those days, maybe 10 years ago, Mama Ems, you were in the clinical field then, or maybe you were somewhere in Expo. Yes. So during that time, calcium was the #1 supplement for strong bones and strong teeth. You even see adverts on the TV. Calcium, So people were consuming a lot of calcium. Fast forward 5 years ago, when I started working in Yorbi, I was doing my practical placement there. I realized that there were a lot of patients with stroke. But then I really did not understand, what is happening? Why so much stroke? When you check some of the diagnoses, you will see IVO infarct. You will see coronary artery disease. Sorry, I'm speaking Finnish. Coronary artery disease. You see things like clogged arteries. And you begin to wonder what is really happening. Let's say between 1 to 30 patients, you must find at least one with a heart condition that is related to coronary artery disease or stroke, or sometimes they will even say unspecified high blood pressure. Now, based on what I have studied for the past 3 years, I'm beginning to get some of the answers that is helping me to change my own way of living. That is my lifestyle. Now, if any of you should take anything from this awareness show today, is that if you are on calcium supplements, make sure you are on D3 as well. And this is the reason why. When you consume calcium over a long period of time, it accumulates on your arteries. It stays there, and it causes clots. That's the most easiest word I can use. It causes clots. Now, look at the patients that were suffering from stroke. How does stroke happen? Stroke will happen when there is not enough blood flow to the arteries. So there's a blockage somewhere, which is that calcium accumulation. It can be calcium and cholesterol, but calcium is part of it. Now, why is that clot there? The clot is there because there was not enough vitamin D to take it from the arteries into the bones or to absorb it, because that's the first process. Vitamin D absorbs, then K2 transports. Yeah. So there was no enough vitamin D to absorb those calcium. So the build up continued over the years. That's why even in my clinical practice right now, I see patients with a lot of high blood pressure medications that has to do with calcium channel blockers. Why? Because they have a lot of calcium in their blood. That calcium is causing high blood pressure. So what happens is that calcium channel blockers, which are high blood pressure medications, they block those calcium receptors. So if you have a lot of calcium deposits in your arteries, it might lead to high blood pressure in the future. This is me saying some of the elderly clients that are suffering from hypertension today, according to research, is because of the consumption of calcium over the years without enough vitamin D. And 7 years ago, when I was doing my practice in Pervesca Schools in healthcare center in Kirikonomi, we were always dispensing medication. There's no day you will see a client or a patient taking 30 micrograms of vitamin D, 50. Sometimes it's even 10. An elderly client, an adult taking 10 micrograms. But then the level of calcium per day is 1,000.
Yes.
Look at the ratio. It doesn't match.
It doesn't.
So over the years, they suffer the effect. My take for this video to you people is that as you are supplementing, remember that D3 is a must to have, especially where we live. Thank you so much, Mama News.
Thank you so much. That's a wonderful one. Thank you. Thank you. Very, very important. Again, please, guys, I hope you've been listening. I hope you've been listening. This is some serious stuff here. Some serious stuff. So let me go to Georgiana. Georgiana, what would you want our viewers to take home? And dear viewers, it's unfortunate that Solange is not going to join us today. She's had an emergency. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you once more again for listening to us, and thank you for always bringing this good news to everyone. So for me, the very first thing I'd like to say here is that please do try it. At times some people get information and they fail to practice it. But with this vitamin D, I'll be very, very sure here that it's good to try. Try it. Just try it. Just give it a try. And I'm sure you will thank me and thank our host also for bringing this. Secondly, get tested. I have not gotten tested yet, nor any member of my family, but we have plans to do that. It's important to know your vitamin D level. Now we are just taking it, because, okay, it's said that we need to take, but it's good to get tested also. Then the third thing is watch out for the requirements, get the requirements, try it right from kids. Of course, in Finland, we are told, we are encouraged to start giving the babies right from small. So, but I know we do not focus on it. So please, my very, very important recommendation will be step up your vitamin D game. I know especially men will not like to take it. So many men don't take it. My man did not used to take it. Please do encourage them and serve them. Before you know it, they are asking you to give them. So serve them and make your family enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Georgiana. They say educate the woman, you educate the entire country, right? So knowledge is power. So yes, all the mothers, Don't just help yourself or the children. Please get your husbands as well involved in this. I strongly believe in health promotion from the family or family perspective. Very important. So you take one stone and you can shoot many birds. So in this case, the mother is the stone, and then you can get the children, you can get the husband, and why not even extended family members. So wonderful. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are watching us from, we want to say thank you very much for joining us. We are here at JC Radio. If you have not liked this page, please do that, because here you would have all kinds of programs on air every day. So please do not hesitate. This is I still want to talk about Nana's TV because I do love them so much, and I love this slogan, for us by us. So it is us, and this is a platform where we can come every now and then and share different topics, different health topics that concerns us as a people, as a community. So please, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all your comments. Let me see if there are a few comments so before I can round up. Yes, Nancy says, I have been taking vitamin D for almost 20 years. So good that that's one of my favorite. I love that. And I can see, Nancy, people always ask, why are you always so young? Now we know the secret, Nancy. Thank you so much. You just revealed that, because I've been wondering as well. You're always like 10 years younger than your age, or even more. So yes, Queen Adingam says, well said to Clarice. And then we have Kamoma Tanga who says, whoa. Simon, do you have any idea of the difference in taking vitamin D by chewing or swallowing it whole? Oh, thank you, brother. I love all of these kinds of questions. Please, it's really important. Vitamin D supplements come in different forms. You have the capsules, you have the tablets, you have gummies, you have a dissolvable tablets as well. So please just use any of the form that you want. But again, because vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin, it is best absorbed when you consume it with a fatty, with a diet that is rich in fat. But again, this is what I keep telling people: just take your D vitamin when you think that you will remember to take it every single day. Every single day. That's the most important thing here. But remember, there is always going to be some absorption, but it is best when you take it with a high fat diet. There are also some vitamin D supplements that come in, in different kinds of not only capsules, but like they're made in fish oil or something. So with those ones, you can take them in an empty or on an empty stomach. That's not a problem. But again, to be honest with you, I say that take your D vitamins, even if I have to take it on an empty stomach. I take it because I just have to remember to take it. There is some absorption anyway, so you don't forget it. Very, very important. So I don't think that it makes any difference. Choose the form of the tablet that you think that works best for you. To be honest with you, we are all individuals. Some people like tablets. Some people are very good with swallowing even big tablets. Some people want but oil. You also have it in all. There is vitamin D and fish oil, something combined. So there are different forms. So just go for what works for you. To be honest. Yes. Then we have Junior Joseph says, thank you, Uncle Ben. Esther is on. I'm blessed with you guys teaching. God bless you too, sister. Nice show. Junior Joseph says, nice show, Mr. Manka, please keep educating. Thank you so much. We're doing this together. It's us that's gonna do it. Nobody else is gonna do it for us. And then Regina says, thank you, wonderful ladies, for such wonderful teaching. Please, yes, do share. Thank you, Sister Regina. We appreciate that. And then Kamoma says, thank you very much for that. We do appreciate each and every one of your comments. We do appreciate your time. We know that there are other places where you would rather be at this point, but you decided to put your health first, and you're here, to listen. You're here to share your thoughts, your ideas, and to comment, and we don't take it for granted. So we thank you so much. And this is my take home. This is something I want each and every one of you to remember, and I'm going to give you like a recap, right? The first thing is that D vitamin is an essential vitamin. is it's actually considered as a hormone. It's very, very important in hormonal production, but so many of the things that are happening in our body, very, very important. D vitamins will help to, help you for better cognition. Sufficient D vitamins will help to prevent infections, especially when we talk about infections here, we're talking about lung infections. They will help to, protect you from those infections. So when we get hit by another pandemic, hopefully not, you would be in better state. Your immune system would be better to fight that and get the virus out of your body. So very, very important. D vitamins will also, help you to protect you from some of the chronic diseases. And like Manny Clary said, hypertension and all the cardiovascular problems, she pretty much break the link between, lack of D vitamins and also developing those different chronic diseases. But remember, even things like cancer, diabetes have been linked to low levels of D vitamins. What about your skin? You probably want to have a glow. You want your skin to glow, like our sister Georgiana said. You probably want that. You probably maybe want to prevent, loss of estrogen and all of that. So please, very, very important. Now, don't take any D vitamins, especially it's an over-the-counter medication or a supplement. But please, if you're taking any dose that is higher than recommended, I strongly recommend each and every one of us here to go for a D vitamin test. Just call your doctor, take one step ahead and do this and make the call and go and get a test. Test your children also if it's possible. Test your children. The doctors will be willing to do that test for you. Very important. If you are going to be using a sunscreen, remember that sunscreen does prevent you from absorbing any sun, but of course, it also depends where you are. Somebody did ask that if I go to Africa, for instance, do I still need to take my D vitamin supplements? You don't need during the time when you're there because there's plenty of sunshine. The only reason why you're taking the supplements here is because you do not have sufficient sunshine. So you don't need, if you go to Africa or if you go to Asia or in those countries where there's plenty of sun, you just put it on hold. Just put it on hold. Very, very important. So please, and then for the pregnant for mothers, many of you might you're planning to conceive, or maybe you're already pregnant. Please don't start taking any higher dose or D vitamins without consulting the doctor. It's very important for the fetus as well, but get the doctor involved in this. We really want to, or we cannot overemphasize that. This is a disclaimer. Get a doctor involved. Get a doctor to help you with the dosing or determining the required or the sufficient dose for you. Very, very important. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. The time is 8:34. We are very sorry that we're keeping you 4 minutes longer than we're supposed to, but this has been a very, very wonderful evening, and we say kudos to all those who are putting their health first. It's your greatest wealth, and please do not hesitate to check our WhatsApp Facebook page, Heat Finland. Very, very important, Heat Finland, and like our page, follow us as well. And before I leave, I want to give a big shout out to Moni Heli RU, the VIDA project, which is the vitamin D awareness project, is supported by Moni Heli. And I want to say thank you, Moni Heli, for helping small organizations to be able to carry out small projects like this one, to educate our people, to give them knowledge, because at the end of the day, knowledge is power. So now you are all informed. You can make informed decisions going forward on what you really want to do with your health when it comes to D vitamins. If you want to feel good, you want to avoid all of the unnecessary cramps and pains, back pain, muscle, all general body pain and unnecessary fatigue, please go get yourself tested. Go get yourself tested. So thank you very much, and God bless you all, and wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful new year, and see you soon. Bye bye.